Hey, salam alaikum, man. How are you doing, my friend? How is life for you? How is your Friday? My dear lady, my dear partner is looking forward to rest. So is the universe. I think the human race is so restless. The grinding of life, the pursuit of happiness is taking a toll on us. How happy are we while we are pursuing happiness? That's the question of today's Friday with Tuko Riyadha with your friend, Joel Yoheli, the prophet. I forgot I have an affinity, or I have this link to the prophet Joel Yoeli. Joel, they call me. Hey, thank you, the two friends that joined my YouTube channel. Appreciate you, my friend. You know who you are. I spoke to you. I speak to you. Welcome aboard. We enjoy the ride. It's a good Friday, my friend. To all the Muslims, brothers and sisters, Friday is always a good day for them. And so are the Sabbatarians. They look forward to, they're welcoming the day of Shabbat. So are the Judaic people of Judaic faith. Hopefully it's a good weekend for you. Hopefully you can unplug, get off that treadmill of life, get off that, take an exit, man. There's a rest area. You know, when you're driving in USA in the highways, there's a warning. You have 2 miles to the next rest area. It could be that close for you right now. And if you miss that rest area, you might have like 40 miles to go to the next one. Don't wait that long, my friend. Take a rest. Take a break. Take a break because I'm going to take a break with you, but I'll take a break with you with some Tukoriada episode here, number 65, where I'm taking an investigative hat. I'm the new sheriff in town. I call myself on my last one the anti-dope agent. Look at that face, man. That is a very anti-dope agent. Canvassing, investigating, taking samples, urine samples, blood samples to find out who is clean. I'm still doing it. I think the outfit I have might fit the job because the job is not done. You might be done because you feel clean. You could be a saint in your own world. You could be a saint in what you do, which is fine. Congratulations for being a saint, for being sinless, for being you've been dedoped. So you've been purged of all those impurities. Anyway, what do you think I'm going to talk about today in athletics? For those who know me, I am relentless. I'm very relentless, and I don't think I'm stopping until we get to the bottom of this, so to speak. Because the bottom might not even be the bottom. The bottom might be where the dead bodies are lying. Oh, creepy Halloween thought just went through my spirit here. Halloween is coming, man. Halloween. Hello. Yep. I think one of my children was in a Halloween party and I saw some pictures. Well done, Halloweenians. I just came up with that. So I've been on this crusade of talking about doping in a very small country of Kenya. Our population is 50 million. Maybe as I finish doing this episode, we might be 51. We are family people. We like to populate. And there's nothing wrong with that if you're clean and you're able to. I'm not advocating populating the earth the way some people take literally. I'm just saying we are 50 million and we might be 51. And if it's okay and everybody is in collaboration, go ahead. So I'm in the country of Kenya, and my thoughts are always there when it comes to athletics. Because That's where my roots are. Going back to my roots. Yeah. That's an old 70s, I don't know. Na, 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 na. So, Kenya as a place of runners, the world all over celebrate Kenyan athletics, and I'm one of those. If you've been watching episode 1 to this 65th one, you know I'm a passionate lover of athletics. Somebody today told me, hey, were you in Belgium, in Brussels? I said, yeah, I was there during those good old Diamond League. Do you know how I was there? In spirit. The Halloween spirit. No, I was teleprompting over there. Teleprompting, is that how the word is? Anyway, let me go back to the subject matter. How can we clean ourselves of these miscrits, these impurities of sports? I've tried to give you the history. I went all the way to Ben Johnson in 1988. In fact, there's something I've always talked high of Floyd Joe. Floyd Joe was a superhuman being at the height of her career in Seoul Olympics. She still holds the world record in 200 and 100 meters. I think 21:46, 10.46 in 100 meters. Floyd Joe. You know how old she was when she died? 38 years old. So as an investigator, I was curious of why she died. I don't do that. I know what you're thinking. I did not exhume her body to find what killed her. I didn't do that. I didn't do what they call post-mortem. Okay? I'm just curious. At 38, that is very young. Very young age for a young, fast, well-built woman breaking world records, still unbroken, still stands since 88. That's a long time, right? I'm now suspicious about something about accomplishments and times, the fast times. I read an article in Independent magazine. I think it's a UK magazine, and this journalist was very interested in Floyd Joe and how she died young. And one of the things he exposed in that article, whether it was an investigation that he undertook, I don't know, but I read something that was interesting. That in 1985, Floyd Joe was just an ordinary woman. She won a world championship, silver medalist for world championship. But the same journalist says that 3 years later, when he encountered Floyd Joe, her physique had changed completely from, she was fast. Evelyn Ashford, if anybody recalls this, was still the fastest woman in America back then. And to this day, I think she's still around. She's a respectable sprinter. But this journalist gave me something that makes me wrestle with more. That were we watching a superhuman being or a juiced up lady? At 38, she passed away. They say she died from complications in her sleep. I don't know. But when this journalist encountered Floyd Joe in 1988, her voice had changed. She had developed a deeper voice from the 3 years he had met her before. Her physique had changed. She was toned. Her jaws had dropped. People don't make up these things. I'm just reporting here, okay? It made him wonder, was she on steroids? That's the same question I'm asking now when it comes to anything I see nowadays. Because I think people underestimate how steroids operate and how the body receives it and how it reacts to it. Let me take you home to Kenya. Italians and Kenya have had a relationship. Malindi, at the coast of Kenya, became a home of Italians for a long time. They trace it to 1960s, 70s. So it'd be restaurants, hotels, beaches. They own property, shops in Malindi, mostly. It was, I think, before Cleveland, Italy in Cleveland. Maybe at the same time they're having Little Italy in Cleveland, we're having Little Italy in Malindi. I think that's even more closer because when you talk of the weather, you talk of Mediterranean weather, the Sicilians and moving that tropical, that warm weather, tan weather where the Caucasian or people from Europe can they can come and enjoy that humidity and warmth. So yes, Italians came there and in fact, at one point, I remember this, Malindi, they were talking, they had like maybe 3 to 4,000 Italians in Malindi. That's a lot. They were talking of 30 to 40,000 tourists from Italy every year. Of course, it changed after, I think, 2011, no, 2008, the economic bust in Italy, and everything changed. The world changed after 2008, economic decline and all that stuff that affected Italy, not just Italy, but it was a global problem. And then there came the terrorist stuff along the Somalian kidnappings of tourists. And the Italians pretty much left Malindi. If you go right now, I think it's very ghostly. It's been almost like abandoned. The way Cleveland and Little Italy have come to be. Hey, you know who is from Cleveland? Anyway, so the reason why I'm bringing this Italian connection is because of agents and managers and associates and companies that have found a mining or a space or a soft spot in athletics in Kenya. I talked about it last time, but I'm not done with them because Gabriele Rosa, Dr. Gabriele Rosa, I remember, I've talked about remembering, but I remember Paul Tergat, Moses Tanui marathon runner. Now the names are even getting longer and the list is getting bigger. The one thing that is screaming from this Gabriele Rosa, Dr. Gabriele Rosa, the agent and the associate, they call him the Rosa and Associates, is the number of runners, mostly marathon, who are associated with this associate group. It screams, it raises a red flag for those of us who are Kenyans. And let me tell you why I'm going that route. My matriarch, my hero, she was inducted in the Hall of Fame in Berlin a few weeks ago. The lady I met when she was only petite at 80 pounds at the top of her career marathon. I'm talking of Tekla Lorupe. I love to meet that lady again and just speak to her. She's from West Pokot, a place that has deprived many women of a chance to be themselves. But she speaks like this. I'm quoting Tekla Lorupe. And I'll go back to Italy and Rosa and the Italian connection. It makes me talk. I'm scared. It could be a mafia thing. Let me tell you what she says. She says, I think the government of Kenya has underestimated the problem of drugs in our athletics. She continues, it should be concerned, she says, because it's a shame for the country and also for athletes who are naive and they don't know all about drugs. She's very concerned. She's a matriarch. She's a woman. She knows, I think. And I think I can trust her. I've quoted her. I think I'll try even to quote her more if I can find a chance to what she says. She continues, I don't blame our coaches, local coaches, she says, or those athletes. They are represented by foreigners. Foreigners? Italians? She continues, because foreigners, they see the athletes from Kenya as a source of income and therefore they'll do anything. I think Tekla Rupe is just being diplomatic. I don't think I'm going to be diplomatic. I think most people, some people, I'm not saying most, are out for what can they get? How can they maximize this product? How can they exploit and plunder if it is not in Congo, if it is not even in Kenya? The new form of slaves right now in Kenya is not farming as much as you talk of tea estates and how they're exploiting people and who are making not even minimum wage for the tea. These days, the new colonials are within the system. They call them housemaids. They're exploited, highly exploited, highly exploited. And they're exploited within the elites who are using the same template that was used in the past. And so when she talks of foreigners, when she talks of from outside, I can agree with that to one point, but there's a point I think she can stretch that a little bit. There's a collaboration, there's a collusion within. Because people don't operate in a vacuum. Corruption, any form of thievery, any form of plundering is a collaborative work. It could be foreign. It might look like it's easier to say it's foreign. Because let me tell you why she could say that. Because in 2016, the Rosa associates, Dr. Gabriel Rosa and her son, Federico Rosa, is a family enterprise. Is a family, can I quote unquote mafios? Because maybe it's a Sicilian, Italian. Can I go there? Maybe. Because the reason why I'll go there is because I dare say that in the 80s, 90s, I think even way before that, the president of IAAF, Athletic Association, which is the big umbrella under athletics, talk of Diamond League, all these athletics around the world, was a man. There was a president back then who passed away, I think, a few years ago in the 90s or early 2000. His name was Primo Nebbiolo, Italian. Let me tell you what he said at the height, at the peak of his presidency as a IAAF president. Let me quote to you what he said. Very disturbing things from a president of an organization. This is what he said about doping. I'm quoting verbatim to tell you that it's chilling. He says, I'm tired of discussing the problem of doping. I like the great events, these champions with young people. Spending so much time following the urine testing samples, for me, is not nice. That's the president of athletics. That is chilling. That is disturbing. That should make some of us stay awake and speak to what this is almost mafia thinking to me. It doesn't matter. Just use them to get to where you want to go, which is sponsorship, cooperation, while using young athletes, mostly from poor countries who are not educated according to the matriarch, Tekla Rupe. I'm shaking when I think about these things. In other words, what I'm trying to say is that these things don't just happen in a vacuum. It's an ecosystem. And they're using the naive, the desperate to get the Coca-Cola of this world, the Nike of this world, the Adidas to sponsor the event. And you know the biggest event outside Olympics, World Championship, is marathon. Marathon is a spectacle. I talked about it last time. It's a spectacle. People pretty much believe if you've done marathon in Kenya, I told you last time, you can earn 16 million Kenya shillings on a given marathon. Let's talk of Ruth Chemngetich. She just won and broke the world record in Chicago. Her paycheck was very nice. I'm just being nice about that. If she was running with a shoe sponsored by Adidas, which is retail was 500, she got paid. She had a good payday. When Tekla Rupe says they can do anything, can they even do doping? I'm not suggesting that these athletes are doing it because they are forced to. I think they are collaborating and colluding. I'm tired of cheats, my friend. And I think I'm not a purist. I'm not talking as if I'm too organic, that I'm not having any synthetic components in my soul. No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that when the top dog, the president of IAAF, makes such a strong, disturbing, chilling statement about the fact that he's tired of the problem of doping. He's tired, or he wants to look the other way? Because he wants to see the young people and the performing in the big stage. So they can say, look at Nebbiolo, Primo Nebbiolo. He's the president, and look at what he's putting for spectacle for us to see and sponsor. And the world is watching. Money is coming in. Flo Jackie Joyner died at 38. Many people, I remember when she died, many people are saying, man, this is not good. I think it could be drug related. Now I'm sitting here saying, they could be right. One of the things we don't know is about the pathologies. We never got post-mortem because it's a family issue. But when a journalist investigated a little bit of that and found what I found with Marion Jones in 97, because Marion Jones was a basketball player in North Carolina Tar Heels. She was a great basketball player. She was slender, slim, and she was quick. But she's like, there's no money here. There's no money in women basketball in America. They've come a long way. Marion Jones chose to go to a sport that she became a star. When I saw Marion Jones in Milan, Italy, yeah, again, I go Italian connection, my friend. I can never get away from Italians. And with the president of Italy, when Marion Jones was at the top of her game, and the president of athletics is saying he's tired of doping. Marion Jones wasn't tired of doping. She was caught inside their machine of doping. She ends up in jail, and as I said, she paid the highest form of price in her career, in her life. Marion Jones is never the same. You can follow Marion Jones anywhere. She was here, my friend. She plummeted. Flo Jo was here at 38. She's not with us. I spoke of the young man, Bate Kipyegon, who passed away. Depression, alcohol, gone. I can't repeat enough. Let me give you Rosa, the manager, the associates. In 2016, going into Brazil Olympics, Kenyans were on the spotlight. You know, what they call they were reining in on them. They were reining in on the system. In fact, the National Olympic Committee was disbanded after 2016 Olympics because of scandals after scandals. They were closing in on the Kenyans in 2016, and they had to throw somebody at the bus. Because I have to say, as much as it could be foreigners, there's a collusion inside the system. So, Rosa Associates were under investigation in Kenya because they say, oh, this is what the Kenyan government were looking to say. These are the charges, by the way. This is what the DCI and everybody investigating them were saying. These agents were conspiring to cause injuries to professional athletes through doping. Possibly. But what did they investigate? How far did the investigation go in Kenya in 2016 with Rosa Associates? I think he was in jail for a few days, bailed out, paid something. There was this disruption to the whole Rosa Associates. 6 months they were banned. I think they were not the only ones. I think there's another sports athletic association that was banned. I think what is the name here? Volare, I think. So Kenyans made some noise in 2016. In fact, there was an investigation after 2016 Olympics, after the scandals that marred the whole success in Brazil. There are always investigations in Kenya. Nobody has ever gone to jail. Nobody. Understand, money was looted during the 2016 Olympics. Doping was one of the issues that was pending in the legal framework system in Kenya. You have money in Kenya, you are Rosa, you are Italian. You know, one thing I found about Italians and people, foreigners in Kenya, is that you can get away with anything if you have money in Kenya. And I'm not saying it's okay. I'm just saying I'm speaking facts into facts. The Italian community in Malindi were notorious for impunity. The locals speak of underage sex, slave-like treatment of locals. It happens. And nobody ever held them accountable. So here come the Rosas. Dr. Gabriele Rosa has been in Kenya since the 90s, maybe the 80s. I think he's retired. His son, Federico, is the one in charge. And now the names that have been found wanting, connected with the Rosa associates, Asbel Kiprop, Stanley B. Ward, Jemima Kosamgong, Rita Chepto, 3 times Olympic Boston Marathon winner. The name goes on. Who cares? I'm just here ranting like John the Baptist again. But this time, I'm Prophet Joel. I don't think all these eggs I'm throwing on the wall are going to stick. Some of you might be tired of it too. It's okay. Just turn it off. But you can watch me. You can mute. You can lower the volume. But I can say, somebody has to say, if it's not right, it's not right. I don't think I'm speaking as a righteous person. It says I'm not sitting on the throne of righteousness condemning a society. I think I'm speaking the fact that if we allow this to continue, if we have the Flo Joes at 38 gone, with Marion Jones, she was barely 30. She has no life. Federal convict. Yeah, I don't know. There's a fatigue maybe to the subject. But if we get tired, if we live in a post-truth, if we have alternative facts, if we are thinking we are going to look the other way and see young people being exploited in a society for the sake of money and people prolonging their careers in athletics, the Rosas of this world, if the legal framework in Kenya does not have the capacity or the patience or the focus to weed out, I even won't call it corruption. It's a disease. It's metastasized so bad that today I was listening to people say, in my language of Kipsigis, we don't have something that equates to corruption. We don't have what equates to doping. We don't even know what a scandal is. We don't have those words that, we can say, oh, wewe ni corrupt. Wewe ni corrupt. That's all we can say. We just borrow the word corrupt and run away with it. Hiyo ni sijui ni ufisadi in Swahili. Common people don't know what corruption is. Why don't we just call it cheating? Why don't we call it stealing? Or you are a thief? Because those we can relate to, we're mwizi. I think this idea of sanitizing and trying to sound nice. People even call corruption bad manners. Bad manners? You've just stolen $10 billion. That's bad manners? Huh? Rita Chip